Well, well, well. Um, well, this I mean, it's expected. They will violate ceasefire. And what do you think? I mean, the most was an arch enemy countries of all time, Israel and Iran. I don't think you can just squash that beef between them. There's a long history of hatred towards Israel and other Muslim countries, particularly Iran. Trump was trying to achieve the unachievable, of which you want to say that. They say it cannot be done, but he said, yeah, they agreed to a ceasefire. Ceasefire means nothing. It's just ceasefire means it's just basically it's like time to reload, in my honest opinion. So now they pointing finger at one another that violated the ceasefire that was set placed, saying that Israel fired and also Iran fired. Now I think killed 3 civilians or something like that. Anyway, so Trump coming out, he is furious and dropped the F bomb. I don't know when he's gonna say that here, but let's go watch the video, and that's what it is. I don't know what I mean. Like I said, I'm a Trump supporter, but I don't know. He's trying to play in the middle, in this situation. So, or a mediator. I don't know how is that gonna work after you cripple their nuclear site, the Iranian nuclear site. So we don't know where we at with that. So let's see if he can bring everybody on the table and then renegotiate that ceasefire. That's what they're talking about.
John, because of the ceasefire, Mr. President, Israel said ceasefire breaking impact.
I don't think so, but I'm not happy that Israel's going out now. There was one rocket that I guess was fired overboard. It was after the time limit, and it missed its target. And now Israel's going out. These guys got to calm down. Ridiculous.
I think they agreed to the ceasefire, and they will set, like, I don't know, 5 hours, to take effect. And I think both sides took that opportunity to unload and say, hey, we got 6 hours, 6 hours. So let's see if we can send more rockets to Israel. And Iran did not stop. A call on the ceasefire, I think it should be, gradually. You know what I mean? Don't set a time. I don't know. That's just my opinion. You should set time. Let's call for ceasefire, but it was actually, that they're hot in a moment, and Iran probably have everything all set up to fire it, and they have this hot trigger finger. They got a lot of rockets to disperse and waste. And they're probably thinking, hey, we got those Iron Dome depleted. They're not able to shut us down. Or shut and some of them are going through. So you can't really say that they'll drop everything. They're not gonna listen. Particularly Iran, they're not gonna listen.
I didn't like plenty of things I saw yesterday. I didn't like the fact that Israel unloaded right after we made the deal. They didn't have to unload.
Because they still have time, Trump.
And I didn't like the fact that the retaliation was very strong. But in all fairness, Israel unloaded a lot. And now I hear Israel just went out because they felt it was violated by one rocket that didn't land anywhere. That's not what we want, I'll tell you. And I'm telling you, I'm not happy about that, Israel, either.
Are you going to run that up?
All I do is play both sides. I'm going now, as you know, to NATO.
Yeah.
Some of you are going with me, and I think it's going to be successful. We'll see.
How are you going to play both sides if one side is what also want to kill you? When the one side has already planned to assassinate you, or still planning to assassinate. Why would you want to play both sides and be? I don't get that. Maybe because of a lot of Trump's base, or a lot of people that voted for Trump are, those people on the right that when they think it's America first, that means they think it's American only. That they get so jealous when they're, when Trump is focusing anything besides, the border and getting rid of the, the illegal aliens out of the country. Don't get me wrong, I'm pro that. But when I voted for Trump, I understood what he meant. When he says America first, it doesn't mean America only. America first, there's something second, third, fourth, and so on, right? That's what it means. I know that he's going to be, that we have to deal with Iran sooner or later, So, and I saw that there was a tweet from Marjorie Taylor Greene or something like that. One of the persons on the right, a Republican politician. She's a prominent Trump supporter. She said that she tweeted that she was asking questions, asking, have you heard anybody or any American that was killed by Iran? I don't think that was conducted, or she tweeted that carefully, because you can just easily look that up and how many people have died directly or indirectly, or by by proxy. Iran's funded all this, like Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, and all that. There's a lot of people that died in the hands of Iran. I don't know if it's playing stupid or playing on her base, because there's a lot of people that followed her and believed in her. But anyway, so so that's not what it means. So, and Trump is trying to please both sides. I'm for the common sense. In reality, it's like I said, you're gonna have to deal with Iran sooner or later. How are you going to deal with Iran if Israel is not there? You know what I mean? Let's say Israel is not there, not in the Middle East. Who are you gonna deal with, or who are you gonna be on your side? Saudi Arabia, Egypt? I highly doubt it. So sooner or later, that you're gonna have to deal with Iran. That's basically let's get it. And Trump, as a business person, he likes to mitigate. Like to be in the middle. But like I said, I asked earlier, how are you going to do that after the fact that you dismantle their nuclear weapons, and after the fact that from the beginning that they want to eliminate you as a person, and also the whole country? You can't do it. You can't do it.
I'll let you know.
Are you going to see the agreement? It's a new dawn in the Middle East, thanks to the agreement you managed to achieve. What are your future plans for the region, for Saudi Arabia, Israel, Gaza, the hostages?
Look, you're asking me about women in the Middle East. It's getting a lot better. Things are happening at a high level. As you know, Saudi Arabia's done a really good job. It's coming out far faster than I thought. So we're very happy about what's happening with women in the Middle East.
No, I'm talking about a new dawn in the Middle East that you managed to achieve last night.
Yeah.
It's the region is going to a new place.
Okay, I don't know what he's okay. Trump's referring to the treatment of the women in the Middle East, particularly in Saudi Arabia. That's what he's saying. That again, I don't know about that. I think they still have maybe 30, 50 years more to go.
Agreement. Can you tell us what's your future plans for Gaza, for the hostages?
Yeah. It's a new dawn. I appreciate the question. You're very nice. Who are you?
Thank you. I'm Neria Kraus from Israeli Channel 13 News.
Well, we have to have Israel calm down because they went on a mission this morning. I got to get Israel to calm down now.
Did you get to speak with the Prime Minister? Did you talk to Prime Minister Netanyahu last night?
I speak to everybody.
Are you going to call the Prime
urge
Minister?
both sides not to violate the ceasefire,
Right.
but reports coming from the region suggest that the sides accuse each other for violating the ceasefire. So
I think
what
they
is
both
your,
violated it.
what is
I
your
don't
next
think
step?
I'm not sure they did it intentionally. They couldn't rein people back. I don't like the fact that Israel went out this morning at all, and I'm going to see if I can stop it. So as soon as I get away from you, I'm going to see if I can stop it, okay?
Have you spoken to him this morning? How confident are you that Hamas is going to take the bullets to be completely demolished?
I think it's been completely demolished. I think the reason we're here is because those pilots, those B-2 pilots, did an unbelievable job. And you know, the fake news, like CNN in particular, they're trying to, they're trying to say, well, I agree that it was destroyed, but maybe not that destroyed. You know what they're doing? They're really hurting great pilots that put their lives in the line. CNN is scum, and so is MSDNC. They're all, and frankly, the networks aren't much better. It's all fake news, but they should not have done that. Those pilots hit their targets. Those targets were obliterated, and the pilots should be given credit. They're not after the pilots, they're after me. They want to try and demean.
You don't believe that Iran can rebuild its nuclear program?
Iran will never rebuild its nuclear. From there? Absolutely not. That place is under rock. That place is demolished.
Yeah. So that with that, I mean, I agree with them. You know, I agree with them. But again, you know, they want that nuclear power. They want that, you know, weapon grade nuclear whatever arsenal. And they're going to use it for one reason alone. We all know what that is. So I don't think Trump can pull this off. I don't think I don't know why he's putting trust on Iran. What needs to happen is what is actually in a process of, you know, what they call a regime change. Iranian wants a regime change, not us. It's gonna happen. You know, you want, if you topple the regime, you know, these citizens, in particular in Iran, need to rise up. I think there was a figure, a prominent figure that I think there was the prince of Shah, something like that. It was like a prince. It was used to be a part of the family, the monarch of Iran. I think he wants to rebuild Iran from the ground up. You know, new ideology, and that's what needs to happen. And it doesn't take over, and that's not going to take overnight.
B-2 pilots did their job. They did it better than anybody could even imagine. They hit late in the evening. It was dark with no moon, and they hit that target with every one of those things. And
They did.
That place is gone. But when I see
Caved in.
CNN all night long, they're trying to say, well, maybe it wasn't really as demolished as we thought. It was demolished. You take a look at the pinpricks, and you see that place is gone. And I will say, I think CNN.
I believe that because when you look at the photos, because there's some aerial photos that happened, you know, that circulating, and you can really tell the landscape have changed, and the depth of the, you know, mountainous region and the hills are, you know, caved in. And actually, the sand turned to kind of a grayish, you know, color or tint because of the ashes, because it's been burned from underneath. So yeah.
Ought to apologize to the pilots of the B-2s. I think that MSDNC ought to apologize. I think these guys really, these networks and these cable networks are real losers. You really are. You're real losers.
Israel says that they violated the peace.
You're gutless losers. I say that to CNN because I watch it. I have no choice. I got to watch that garbage. It's all garbage. It's all fake news. But I think CNN is a gutless.
I think he just watches the clips, you know, that was given to him. Me, I don't watch the clips of CNN, MSNBC, unless I see it from, let's say, Gutfeld or other political influencer that I follow on YouTube and Facebook. Other than that, I don't go out of my way and watch MSNBC and CNN and all that, talk about all this stuff. Now, did I miss that F word that he said it was supposed to say? What the F they're doing after violence? I must have missed it. It's probably in the beginning. I'm gonna have to rewind that. But anyway,
group of people, and the people that run it, nobody even knows it's been sold so many times, but the people that run it ought to be ashamed. MSDNC, a guy named Brian Roberts, he heads it. He's a disgrace. He's a weak, pathetic disgrace.
Israel says that Iran violated the peace agreement and the ceasefire agreement. Do you believe that Iran is still committed to peace?
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too.
Are you questioning if Israel is committed?
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that.
So what you're talking about is the one missile, I think Iran fired a missile that did not land. And according to Trump, that Israel should not have retaliated for that particular rocket that did not land. But there's some reports that some of those rockets actually hit and killed 3 civilians. I don't know if that's after the fact or is it it has nothing to do with it. But
basically have 2 countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what they're doing. Do you understand that?
There it is. He blurted it out, man. They censored it. It's just after they censored it. They don't know. Well, they know what they're doing. It's not what the F they're doing. It's they know what they're doing. They need, Iran wants to annihilate and erase Israel. And Israel, that's like they've been doing from the beginning. They have all the right to defend themselves, and they know how to do it. So I don't know how this. I mean, like I said, if you give them 12 hours and say, okay, you got 12 hours until the ceasefire. And then and you'll see sometimes there's some, like I said, they probably, they still, the smoking gun and hot barrels still, sizzling, and they could not stop. So you got to give them some time, especially if they're like in the heat of the moment. They're not going to listen to you. Iran's not going to listen to you, and Israel is not going to listen to the fact that they have to do what needs to do in order to protect Israel, the sovereignty of Israel. But anyway, that's it for now. Keep it here. And that's my rant, and that's what I found for today.